if you're in a if you have Tourette's syndrome and you're living in a small town, maybe in the South like I do, then I think this you would find this interesting. If you live in a small town, maybe up north or maybe overseas, probably might find this interesting because this deals with all the small little things that go along with living in a rural area or a small town. I grew up in a small town, about 1,400 people, and lots of my family members have Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome sometimes only shows up in one person in the family, maybe two. Some families, like my family, are just eat up with it. I mean, I have three uncles that had it, and my dad had a small tic and facial tic, and I have it. I have two or three aunts that have it, and I have several cousins that have Tourette syndrome. So it's sort of different for me because I grew up with it. So, but I'm in the South, in a small town, and I want to relate some of these things that I've had to put up with uh, from living in a small town. Some some people look at families in the South. Some people in these small towns look at a family who has Tourette syndrome, and they are definitely not going to be the most favored in most cases. And so it takes a lot of work and determination for an individual that comes from a family who has Tourette syndrome in it to work and get and break that stigma of facial grimacing and jerking and ticking and limb rolling. Families with Tourette syndrome also have to deal with ADHD and ADD and OCD. A lot of these things can lead to like uh, medication abuses or alcohol abuse or illegal drug addiction so that they could have some type of relief from the in agonizing um, disorders that come along with this, and also the constant feeling that you're going to move. You have to move all the time. Uh, my favorite uncle drank himself to death. His name was Frank, and I loved him almost like I loved my dad. And it was sad because he had really his Tourette's was horrific, and I felt really bad because he had to drink in order to get some type of relief. And Tourette's does lead to some type can lead to some type of addiction. And since I'm in the Bible Belt here in the South, um, a lot of people that and most people here in the Bible Belt believe in the Bible, and the Bible deals with spiritual things such as demons and evil spirits, just like Jesus casting out the demon out of the demon named Legion out of the demoniac and cast him into those pigs, the herd of pigs that ran off the side of the cliff. So a lot of people look at you and they'll think the first thing when they see you jerking or twitching, they'll think, oh my God, you know, he's got a demon, he's got an evil spirit. And I read about him in the Bible. His name's Legion, and we either got to pray for him and rebuke and command and demand that demon to leave him, or either we got to get rid of that person so it don't jump on us. And that's a misconception of a lot of people that go to church. Some people they watch TV shows and movies, uh, and they watch witchcraft shows, and they watch these spiritual demonic movies, and that's where they get their education from, that's what a spirit is supposed to be like, which is another misconception. And some look at someone who ticks and twitches as say, ooh, you know they're inbred. No, especially or they're from the South and they're twitching and ticking. No, because they're not. Just because someone has Tourette's down in the South doesn't mean that they're going to be in some type of incestual relationship or come from that. A lot of females don't realize this, but if they're dating someone who has Tourette syndrome, they have a 50-50 chance of their children having Tourette syndrome. And a lot of girls a lot of females marry someone and think, oh, it's just a phase, it's a fad, it's just going to go away in time. And most of the time, it's not going to go away. So it winds up as a bum marriage for the one who has Tourette's syndrome. And for that, I know that for a fact. It's just not going to go away. And so in 1975, I got my first tax-paying job. And as far as working, working is a whole different situation. I'll probably have to do another video on. Back then, they just wanted you to do the work, get the job done, and that's it. They didn't care. Now they look at you as a as they look at you as a liability. And then some people, when they see you ticking and twitching and jerking and limb rolling, uh, they automatically think that guy's tweaking and he's on drugs. And that's not right either. But these are some of the misconceptions that people have about Tourette's syndrome, especially in a small town like I grew up in. So I hope this helps someone, and maybe you guys can you know email me or ask me questions, and I'm fine with that. So see y'all later.